Very good afternoon. Right. So I was told that you are, most of you are from the undergraduate program, right? Undergraduates. Okay. How many of you from accounting? Okay, it's okay. Thank you. Business management? Okay. Okay, my first question, we let it be interactive. I don't want to just come here to lecture or whatever, okay? How many of you know what is supply chain about? Only your friends here. The rest don't know what is supply chain about? No? Okay, never mind. I'll bring you to that subject later. Ethics. Do you know what is ethics about? Ethics, right? Now I'll tell you a story. I'm actually from the manufacturing industry. Okay. Then I joined academic. When I joined this company called Intel. Have you heard of the company name Intel? Right? They come up with microprocessors for computer, right? When I joined the company as a production warehouse supervisor, okay, I was given a shift to manage with around 50 over employees. Okay. There's one day, what happened, my employees, my operators, they went to the canteen, cafeteria to eat. That was during night shift. Okay. And then suddenly after some time, after half an hour, I received a call from the clinic. The nurse called me. I said, what happened? And then she said, you come over. I went there. One of my operators, she was eating fish and the bone got stuck. Right? It's normal, right? All of us have experienced that before, I think. Right? It's simple as that. Take it out. The nurse took it out. And I said, what's the issue now? Why are you calling me for? No. This is a safety incident. Right? And she handed over to me a form. It's like 10 pages kind of a form where I need to write a report on that incident. The first page, problem statement. I need to write about the problem. Second page, chronology of events. You know what is that? What time she went to the canteen? What time she took the plate? What time did she put the food? What time she ate? What time the bone got stuck? What time she went to the clinic? That's chronology. Okay? And then I need to put immediate action taken, the root cause analysis, what actually happened, systemic fix, right? How can we fix this problem? I wrote the report. I put there, don't sell fish with bone, just sell fillet. Fish fillet, no bone. Right? Solves the problem. My boss came the next morning, he started scolding me. What kind of unethical action plan that you have given? Unethical? What? This got to do with unethics. Unethical. Right? I say don't sell fish with bone, just sell fillet. I say it's very unethical because whatever the rest are enjoying, everybody must enjoy. That's ethics about. You cannot like limit people from not eating certain stuff. Right? Majority doing something, that is ethics. You cannot discriminate small group or whatever. Okay? So I wrote the report. The next day, my boss scolded me. It's not a good action plan to fix the problem. And then over there in Intel, we work 12 hours per day. So first week, you work 4 days, 3 days off. Second week, you work 3 days, 4 days off. Right? So coincidentally, that day is my off day. I left. Then after 3 days, I came back. My boss was so excited, so happy to share with me the action plan that they have put in place. So-called ethical kind of action plan. You know what? What they did? The whole Intel, they have like 10,000 employees. They have so many canteens, cafeterias. In every cafeteria, on the table, they put a note. How to eat fish. Step 1. Step 2. Until you finish your fish. Okay. And my boss was so excited, he was telling, I'm going to proliferate this, whatever we are doing here in Malaysia, to other countries, wherever Intel is. China, Vietnam, India, just name it. Okay. So you see, the first lesson that I learned, this until today I cannot digest the word ethical for this, right? Okay. Okay, today I'll walk you through about ethics in supply chain management. I think supply chain management might be new for some of you, but not for all of you. Okay, but you can always stop me if you have any question. Okay. You see the definition there. From the time you receive an order from the customer, right? You receive an order from the customer. Let's say you're selling handphone or mineral water, whatever. You get order from the customer. You process the order. You make it into end product or service. You deliver to the customer, right? The whole stages involved in this process is called supply chain. What is important to produce a material, whatever? Can be mineral water, can be handphone, can be laptops. What is required? Can anyone? What are the stages do you think a product should go through or a service to go through before it ends up with the customer? Anyone? See, the steps are here. The customer is here, right? They make an order, it will come to you. You are the manufacturer, right? If let's say your customer is asking for 1,000 bottles of mineral water, you have 500 bottles in the warehouse, in your company. So you need to produce another 500, right? To ship to your customer. That's when you will be needing some raw materials. You need to work backwards, buy from the suppliers. All right? You need bottle, for example. Right? That is what meant by supplier. Okay? So it needs to go through the whole process before it reaches the customer. Okay, I'll go into details later. Okay. Do you know, here in Indonesia, if you want to buy a car, how long you need to wait? Anyone? Driving car here, brand new car? Or your parents, they book a car, how long you need to wait for you to get the car? Depend on the brand, right?
Method, like the only like motorcycle, if we buy it brand new and we pay it with cash for full payment, they will like it's more faster if you use credit. Like
you pay cash or something.
If you pay credit, the motorcycle will like fast to come to.
Oh, you get it faster.
Yeah, I get it faster.
Okay, good. So in general, you need to wait like 1 month, or some cars you need to wait for 3 months to get it, right? You know how long it takes to assemble a car? To assemble a car, but you need to wait for months to get the car that you booked. But to assemble a car, it just takes around 2-3 hours. One car is ready, right? Why they cannot get it done in 1-2-3 hours delivered to you, but you must wait for 1-2 months or 3 months? It is because of this supply chain. You cannot get all the materials that you want on time from the supplier. Okay? Have you heard of this brand called Caterpillar? Caterpillar, the tractor type, right? You know, in order for you to build a Caterpillar, a tractor, or whatsoever, you need to have thousands of types of screws. Beribu, right? Thousands of screws, different type. Just imagine one screw did not reach you. The whole tractor will be stranded. You cannot pass it to your customer. Okay? That is supply chain about. Right? Okay, guys? See the process here. The first one is you, the manufacturer. Okay, let's say you're going into business, you're going to sell some products, you will have a manufacturing floor, a factory, right? But before that, you need to buy raw materials in order for you to produce the end product. Okay? Once you are done, the raw material will come to you, say maybe by ship or truck from your supplier. Okay? That is called logistics, transportation. Okay? And once you get your raw material, you'll place it in your warehouse. Am I right? Okay? There's another stage there. You will keep your raw material in the warehouse. You also keep finished materials in the warehouse. And then after that, you use distribution again, logistics again to ship to your customer. Okay? Whatever stages involved here is called supply chain. Okay? Okay? So in this supply chain, there are three flows involved. One, the physical movement of materials. Right? Physical movement. Number two, of course, if you buy something, you need to pay. So the financial flow is there. Okay? The third one is information flow. Right? Your customer get back to you, it's information, right? You're communicating with your customer, you're communicating with your supplier. So that is information flow. So we have three flows there: material, financial, as well as information flow. Okay? If any of these flows is impacted, let's say someone is being unethical here. So in general, the whole process is going to be corrupted. Okay? Okay, I'll go through that later. Any questions, just stop me. Okay? What are the functions involved in supply chain? Supplier management. You need to manage your supplier. Right? In business, people say customer is the king. Have you heard of the term? Customer is the king. Right? You need to listen to the king, the customer. Right? But now slowly, supplier is becoming the king. Supplier, you buy from another person, right? Some raw material. They are becoming so high up now. So you need to know how to manage your suppliers. Inventory management. If you have raw materials, let's say you're producing a laptop, you will have so many things, right? The keyboard, the screen, the battery, and so forth, right? All these are raw materials. So you need to have a place to keep your inventory. Okay? You need to manage your inventory very well. That is what meant by inventory management. Okay? Distribution management, as I mentioned just now, the logistics side of it. You need to know how to manage your shipments. Right? There are 5 types of modes of transportation. You have truck, land. You have sea transportation, the ship, the plane. Right? What else? What other transportation mode that we have? Rail. One more. Anyone? We have truck, plane, ship, rail, the train thing. The fifth one? Pipeline. Pipeline, to transport oil under the ground and all that. Sometimes some people, they transport water from one country to another country, right? So there are 5 main mode of transportation. So you need to manage the transportation, the distribution system, okay? Channel management is more like how you market your product, how you manage your retailers, right? And then payment management, the terms that you use, right? 6 days credit term, 90 days credit term and all that. You need to manage the payment. And also the overall company's financial management. Okay, I'm just giving you some exposure on what is supply chain about, okay? Okay, the main areas covered under the supply chain. If you work in a company, right, eventually you will graduate, you'll go and work, right? If you go to a company, you will try to get a job with regards to your area of expertise, okay? There will be a manufacturing department. There will be a engineering department. There will be a finance, accounting, and so forth. One of the departments which will exist in a company is supply chain department. Okay? In the supply chain department, these are the 5 main areas you can see. You can get a job in the purchasing department or procurement, right? Where you deal with the supplier. You buy materials from the supplier. Okay? Or you can work in a planning unit, right, under the supply chain department. Planning is where you plan the orders for your customer. When your customer is asking for the product, when you need to ship, customer A is asking for this shipment, customer B is asking for that shipment, different dates and all that, right? So you need to do the planning. You need to prioritize accordingly. Warehousing, you can also work in the warehouse. Okay? Logistics, as I mentioned just now, the 5 mode of transportation. And then information system. Information system is where they connect all the 4 areas with suppliers as well as the customers. Have you heard of the term enterprise resource planning? Right? Can you give me an example of enterprise resource planning? SAP. All right, very good. What else? Oracle. What program are you doing? What program are you doing? Huh? Accountancy. Oh, okay, good. So, you know enterprise resource planning, right? So, some examples here, SAP, Oracle, these are main 2 brands out there. Okay? Why they came out with ERP is to make sure that everybody can trace a material. They have traceability, right? They have transparency. All departments can see what's happening in this department. Once the shipment is out of the company, right, the system will automatically bill the customer. So everybody can see. I'm shipping from the warehouse, the finance people knows whether the shipment is out or not, right? Because the system will integrate the whole enterprise. Okay? Have you heard of this ERP, ERP2? Have you heard of that? ERP2? Anyone? No? ERP2 is the extension of ERP. Okay, where your system, with ERP only your company people can see. With ERP2, your supplier can see your system. Your customer can see your system. Right? Transparency is there. When your customer wants to buy something from you, they go into the system, they see you have like 1,000 units there, and they want the 1,000 units, you cannot lie to them, you don't have, because they can see your system. That is traceability. Okay, in ethics, we use this kind of terms to be transparent to everybody. Okay. Any questions here? No? Okay, now what is ethics about? Moral principles. Right? If you have 100 people here, right, all of you were told that you cannot copy for your exam, right? All of you are following, except for one or two, then that one or two is not behaving ethically. Okay, the moral principle is not there. Okay, if majority of them follow something, it's ethical. All right? If just one or two not following, then it's not ethical. Okay? It is between right or wrong. You know what is right, you know what is wrong. In business, nowadays, I see a lot of ethical issues when it comes to business. Right? People are cheating then here. Okay? The competition is not fair. Right? So these are very unethical kind of issues. That's why I shared 5 areas, right? In supply chain, there are 5 areas. The first one is procurement or purchasing. Can. Okay. What are the ethical issues can happen in purchasing area? Okay. The first one, favoritism and bias. What do you understand by that? What is that? Unethical issue in the purchasing area. The first one is favoritism and bias. Yes, please.
Can have a relationship with a supplier and they buy from the supplier, but maybe there's another supplier that is more ethical in product.
Very good. What's your name? William. Very good. You see, favoritism in purchasing is like what William just mentioned. You have some interest in some other suppliers, right? It could be your girlfriend, your boyfriend, company, right? And there can be another supplier producing the same quality of product with cheaper price, but you don't want to buy from them, you want to buy from your friend's company. So that is called favoritism or bias. Okay? Conflict of interest. Again, as I mentioned just now, your wife or your husband might be having that company and you buy from that company. That is conflict of interest. Okay? Supplier diversity. Right? What is supplier diversity? In Indonesia, do you... yeah, you don't buy from a specific supplier, right? What do you understand by the term diversity? Anyone? If I say here, I can see diversity. What do you understand? Yes, please.
What makes us differentiate that we're all from like different nationalities, different cultures?
Yeah, it's a very good example, right? Different nationality, different gender. You can see guys and girls, right? This is diverse group. Okay, so that is what meant by diversity. So when it comes to supplier, you need to make sure you have a diverse kind of suppliers or vendors. You cannot be very particular about, oh, I want to take from this. For example, I just, from Denmark? Are you from Denmark? Okay. I only want to buy from Denmark. That means it's not diversity, right? I need to also buy from Indonesia, I need to also buy from other countries where the quality, you are not jeopardizing the quality or the pricing, okay? Okay. Price fixing, what is that? Yes.
Let's say two companies, they bring a meeting and fix the price on the product, but then by that they collude, but at the same time they can undercut other companies and force them out of the market. So in that sense, it's kind of
Exactly. Right? So you set the price, like you want to beat the competition, you mark the price lower, right? At times, price fixing can be from the manufacturer, from the buyer, right? You don't tell the price. Yes.
Also see examples of like cartel formation, price fixing in certain industries. For example, the Norwegian salmon industry, they came together and they have been accused of cartel formation. And all the suppliers, they go together and they fix the price. So the worldwide price of salmon will stay the same, even though it actually could have been cheaper.
You see, that's a good one, right? So they work in a team, to break the market pricing and all that. Okay? Okay, thank you. All right, that's on price fixing. Intellectual property protection. What is this?
Yeah, IP rights. Makes like if I, for example, in my, I'm a supplier, so I have factories. In my factories, I have special machines that I own intellectual property protection. So other people can't use my way of thinking.
Okay. You see, intellectual property, you already have the trademark or whatever. You already patent it, right? You cannot reveal. At times, supplier knows what you have. You know what your supplier has. So this intellectual property, you should not be sharing with other suppliers or other customers. Right? What's your name? Sebastian. You are from Denmark, sir? Okay. Okay, that is on intellectual property. Okay. The next one is payment and contractual issues. As I mentioned just now, you have term with your supplier or your whoever that you're dealing with. 1 year credit term, 1 month credit term, 3 months credit term, 6 months credit term. So you need to fulfill that. If you don't fulfill that, it's a very unethical practice. Because when you don't fulfill your promise, what will happen? Your supplier, they also need to pay their stuff. They also need to pay their suppliers, right? So just because you delay, a lot of other things transpire. Okay. Sustainable procurement. What is sustainable? Anyone? Have you heard the term sustainability? Right? What are the areas covered under sustainability? Have you heard the term triple bottom line? Heard, right? So when talk about sustainability, don't just talk about your business per se. You want to make profit, right? You also talk about the environment. You also talk about the community or social. Okay? So sustainable procurement is you need to take care of all the three areas. Mainly the environment as well as the community. When you buy raw material from the supplier, you must make sure it is user-friendly or it's eco-friendly. Okay? So that is what meant by sustainable procurement. Okay? How to tackle the problems, ethical problems in the purchasing department, right? You come up with code of conduct. You know what is code of conduct? Yes. Exactly. So how you do business, the code of conduct, right? How you do your business in a very ethical manner. That is code of conduct. You know, when I was working with Intel, again I'm giving you this example. When I was the supply chain manager, okay, so I need to deal with a lot of suppliers. When I go for a annual dinner, suppliers annual dinner, right? What happened? The supplier, they will hold a glass bowl, right? Transparent glass bowl, like the aquarium kind of thing, And they'll go table by table to get our business card. You know why? That is for lucky draw. End of the day, they'll pick the card. I'm not allowed to put my card in. You know why? My boss will tell me, you go for the annual dinner, but never ever put your card in that lucky draw thing, box or whatever. You know why? Because we are dealing with a very big business. We are a multinational company. The supplier will purposely pick your card. They'll have your card. And they'll call your name. And the lucky draw prize will be Rolex watch, right? 10,000 USD, for example. Give you expensive stuff to make you be obligated to the supplier. And you will always propose their name as our business partner. Okay? That is on code of conduct. And then transparency throughout the procurement process. Okay, this is where I mentioned just now the ERP system, ERP2 and all that. Okay. Regular audits. And then collaborative with other areas when it comes to sustainability. Okay, similarly, as like purchasing, planning department, they also have their own problems. They have worker safety and health. Okay, you need to provide safety training to all your staff. If you don't do that, that means you are violating, right? Like just now, I was talking about the fish, right? The fish and the bone. See how serious was the matter? In actual fact, it was not a big deal. But in some companies, they are very particular about it. You know, in some companies, where you take the staircase, if you don't hold the rail, they can issue you a warning letter. Right? And at the same time, if you hold the rail and the boss saw you, they'll give you some token, like KFC coupon or something like that. Why? They want to promote the safety behavior. Okay? Study says, I think every 7 seconds, someone is having a fall from the staircase in the world. So to avoid that from happening, they say you must hold the rail. Okay? Overtime and working hours, some companies, they pay you less, but they ask you to do a lot of things. That is unethical. Fair compensation, okay, what you should get, right? You must get it. Discrimination, right? Discrimination, you know what is that, right? You must treat everybody fairly, okay, regardless of gender, regardless of nationality, and so forth, okay? Environmental impact, supply chain transparency, you be transparent. Quality control and product safety. When you sell something to your customer, the product safety must be there. If you are just sending something to your customer without taking care of the quality, without taking care of the usability of the product or the safety of the product, then you are doing something very unethical. You know, we deal with a lot of customers, okay? We deal with customers from UK, US, China, Japan, just name it. Okay? When a customer is putting an order, right? When they are putting an order, they will say, okay, I need the shipment on the 20th of June, for example. And then you can see in bracket in front and behind, -3, +3, for example. That means these customers, they are saying you can ship 3 days ahead, I'm okay. That means 17th, right? They say 20th, you can ship 3 days ahead, 17th. And then you can also ship 3 days after, 23rd. They give you a window, they call it as a window. But when it comes to Japanese customer, if they put there 20th of January, don't expect the bracket to be there. It will be 0. That means they want you to ship on that date. You cannot ship earlier, you cannot ship later. Okay? And there was once we were dealing with this Japanese customer, Japanese supplier, where we told the supplier, we need like 100 units, we can only expect 5 units reject. That means we from the 100 units, we need 95 units to be good units, cannot be rejected units, right? Only 5 is allowed. Now, when we receive the shipment, from the supplier, we have 2 parcels. One, they put there 100 good units. Another parcel, they put there 5 rejected units. You understand what I'm trying to say? You know what the Japanese supplier is trying to tell us? You want 100 units, you can assure that I'll give you the 100 good units. You don't have to tell me 95 can be good, only 5 can be rejected. So in order to teach us, they said, okay, 100 good units and 5 rejected units. Okay? So in this case, they are very much quality concerned. Okay? That's Japanese customers. They are very ethical when it comes to quality. Okay, again, as I mentioned just now, you need to have good code of conduct, implementing policies for safety, working environment and all that, and a regular assessment or audits. Okay, in warehousing, you can also see some ethical issues there, like working condition. In warehouse, what do? You need to lift up boxes, right? You need to process the box, you need to put it in the shelf, right? That is working condition. So, your company, they should provide all the necessary equipments or whatever to support your job. Okay? Fair wages, labor rights, discrimination again, and the diversity thing, health and safety standards, supply chain responsibility, environmental impact, and so forth. Any questions? No? I'm going to move on faster. Okay? Okay, the same thing. Even in logistics, as I mentioned to you, the supplier or the service provider, they'll try to corrupt you, give you money, bribe you and all that. Okay, you must be careful. That is unethical. So you need to have transparency. The condition of the working place should be there as well. And then people talk about carbon emission, all kind of pollution. Right? When you are dealing with logistics, you are talking about truck shipment, ship is the most highest carbon emitted in the sea. Fair pricing, corruption, data privacy. Data privacy, what is that? Anyone? Yes.
As you receive a lot of data from both your suppliers and your customers, and they have some form of data privacy, so you cannot just give all your clients out to somebody else, for example, and share their data. So that's data privacy.
Very good, right? Once you have the data, you should not be sharing with others. Okay, you know what happened? Some time back when I was working in this company, we wanted to outsource the finance department. Okay, when we don't outsource certain things because the outsource partner might learn from us and then they might imitate whatever product that we are producing. So what we did, we thought of, okay, we outsource finance. Okay, we outsource finance, and after some time, we started getting calls from the banks, from the insurance company, credit card. They call you directly, they say, sir, you are entitled for platinum credit card. How do you know my salary? Whether I'm entitled for platinum or whatever, right? The outsource partner sell the company's employees' information to the banks, financial institutions and so forth. Okay, okay, move on. Again, the code of conduct, you need to establish clear ethical guidelines. When you collaborate with logistics partner, you must be careful. Okay. conducting regular audits. You need to keep in touch with your stakeholders, the communication, and you need to implement some training programs with regards to ethics. Okay? So the 5 areas in supply chain: purchasing, what? Planning, warehousing, logistics, and now information system. Okay. Again, when you talk about information system, you're dealing with the system itself, right? So you need to make sure the data privacy and security is there. Okay. The data should be accurate. We were talking about ERP too just now. Our customer can see what you have, what kind of finished goods you have, they want to buy. If the information that you put inside the system is not accurate, then it's unethical again. Okay, data accuracy should be there. Vendor and supplier evaluation. You need to be fair in evaluating your suppliers. Okay. Intellectual property again. Transparency and accountability. Okay, you need to maintain the system up to date. System bias and discrimination. Right? If you want to buy a system, you cannot be biased. You know, I like SAP or I like Oracle. Right? Even that also you need to justify. Okay? And social responsibility. And the item number 7 is opt-out option. They should get your consent in order to share your information, whatever. Okay? Okay, you come up with policies, implementing data privacy, transparent communication, and addressing system design biases. Okay, I'm going to finish it very fast, and then we can move on to a short case. Okay. When you talk about MNC, what is MNC? Multinational companies, right? Where these companies, probably from Denmark, they have here in Malaysia. They are multinational company. Okay, big companies. SMEs, small and medium enterprise, right? Local companies, right? In Indonesia, you have some local companies. Okay, MNC is from elsewhere. SME is your local. Okay. When you talk about ethical issues, MNC, they are pretty much so much ahead of our SMEs, right? Why they are very much ahead of SMEs? Because the resources that they have, right? They have their own department, right? They can even have an officer for ethics. Okay, but SMEs, they don't care. For them, the bottom line is to sell and get more money. Okay, that's what they want. They don't care about ethics. Okay. Secondly, global footprint and supply chain complexity. When you deal with MNC company, MNCs, they are in many countries, right? So all the countries, they have different kind of expectation, you know, different kind of rules, right? So you need to know what kind of rules that they have. Where one country, they are okay, another country, they are not okay, right? Like you talk their language, right? You know, I had some Indonesian students. Okay, I want to ask you guys. I had some Indonesian students. There was once I called them for dinner. Okay, I mentioned this. Jemput datang ke Dewan pukul 7 untuk makan malam. None of them turn up. Why? Apa salah dengan kata saya? Jemput datang untuk makan malam pada pukul 7. Sorry ya guys. Apa salah? What's wrong here? You see, I was told this. The Indonesian students, they are waiting for me to come. They are waiting for me to come and take them. And I'm waiting for them in the day one for them to come. The word jemput. The word jemput. Jemput datang untuk makan malam kan? So, untuk mereka, jemput tu I kena pergi ambil dia. I need to go and bring them. Right? You see, I'm talking a different language here. Similarly, when it comes to when dealing with other countries, you need to follow their language. Okay? You go to Lebanon, for example. Lebanon, you go and visit your friend is bringing coffee or tea for you. The moment you say, oh no, I don't take tea or I don't take coffee, he will ask you to leave the house. You like or you don't like, you must drink what they give you. That's respect. Okay? So you need to understand other countries' culture. Okay? What is this? Okay. So the complexity is there. And then the compliance regulatory. Different countries have different kind of regulatory. Stakeholders' expectations and impact. Okay? And then flexibility and adaptability. Okay? Any questions from here? No? When we talk about sustainability or ethics, we always say that we need to spend so much of money. Am I right? If you want to take care of environment, sustainability, you need to spend money to bring down the pollution. If you want to take care of the community, you need to give them money or food or whatever to make them happy. Right? Spending, right? Similarly, in ethics, they talk about it, but they say if you behave ethically, you can make more profit for your business. Brand reputation. Today, people are very concerned about sustainability, concerned about ethics, right? Now the customers, I tell you, there was once I experienced this. A customer, few of them, they flew down from Europe to my company in Malaysia. They did not tell us that they are coming. They came, they took flight, they came to our company, straight, never come to the office, they go straight to the company bus area, transport, right? Where these are the transports that we use to send our operators or bring our operators, right? They went there, they sit with the operators, they ask them several questions. What time you get up? What time you wake up? What time you come to work? What time you reach home? Right? All kinds of questions. They want to see whether the company is treating them well. Some companies, you see, just for traveling the bus can take hours. Okay? So the employees might need to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Reach home around 7, 8 o'clock. Right? So they don't have time. That is what these customers, when they come, they will come and warn us. If you are going to continue doing this, we are going to cut our business with you. Right? So now the customers are very much demanding when it comes to sustainability and practice ethics. Okay? You can also help in risk mitigation. You can avoid a lot of what they call penalties or legal actions if you behave ethically. Enhance stakeholders' relationship. If you are very ethical, you're doing ethical business, your supplier will also follow you. Right? Your other partners will also follow you. Increase operational efficiency. When you improve on the quality, right? When you improve on your product, right? Ethically, it will actually give you more benefit in terms of monetary. Regulatory compliance. innovation and competitiveness, right? You will try to come up with a product where you put all the ethics inside there. So your product might be innovative, right? Might be competitive. People are talking about the styrofoam, the polystyrene plate, which is not eco-friendly. It takes years for it to compose, to dispose. Now, in some countries, they came out with a plate where after you eat, you can just throw. It'll get into the soil. Because the plate is made of leaves, down. Right? So that is what they meant by innovation. You can come up with some innovative product. Employee engagement and retention. People get motivated to work for your company. Okay? Positive social and environmental impact. Okay? Any questions from here? Any questions? No? This is a short scenario. Okay? I write many scenarios like this based on real case, whatever happening in the industry. Real case. This one is a real case where I changed the company's name, I changed the figure there, right? I just want you to read through this scenario, okay? Try to understand what is this about. Okay, done? Done? Okay. If let's say you are being appointed as a new warehouse manager, all right? How would you tackle this case? Yes.
Okay, so first of all, the issue is missing raw materials in the warehouse. So the first thing I would look at is the layout of the warehouse. So where you keep certain items, and if they're located just as they come, like the first thing arrives, I put the first place, and then the second and third. And I would make some sort of system within the warehouse. And to do that, I can make an ABC analysis within supply chain management, where you rank the products of like how urgent and how much you use them. So you rank, now I can't remember, I think it's 5, 10, and then 75% of how you use them. And then I would locate the warehouse in a way so the products, the raw materials I use the most would be located close, and the products I don't use as much would be located further behind the warehouse. And in that way, I would also, if I was suddenly missing 1,000 of the components, and then you have a long number, I would know where to look for them. And if they were not there, I would try to find out if it was a problem that they would be mislocated with some other number, and then you would have a better solution to what to do.
Okay. What program are you doing?
International business at CBS, but we have had supply chain management.
Because you use the term ABC items and all that, so he knows about the subject matter. See, what Sebastian is saying, one, you need to keep your fast-moving materials close to you and slow-moving further, right? That's one. The second thing is, you need to itemize the inventory. A part, A value inventory. B, average. C, low, whatever, right? You need to put that in place, right? So as a warehouse manager, I think he knows roughly what to do, okay? What else can you do? Yes.
Okay, so my name is Ilma, and as a manager, I would definitely I would use RFID to tag the items. It's a radio frequency identification. Basically, it can track the item in and out of the warehouse, and we can also see like where the item is going in the supply chain.
Yeah, Ken.
So basically, we can definitely know like where the item is going, where is it now, and where it will be at the moment. And second of all, I also will implement a documentation so that we can keep track of the item in and out of the warehouse. And so the third one is we use the VMI, the vendor management inventory. Is basically an arrangement between the supplier and the warehouse. So basically, the supplier will um, they will basically do the work for us in terms of managing the inventory in the warehouse. So yeah.
Oh, you guys using some good terms. Firstly she said of RFID, am I right? You know what is RFID? Radio frequency identification device, right? In some places like Walmart, for example, they only want to do business with supplier who has RFID technology, right? If I'm not mistaken, in Denmark they came out with, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me, they came out with tag for the children to play in the playground, to keep track on the children in the playground. They can see a monitor, the parents, they can monitor where the children are going around. Okay, because there are some psycho fellas can take your children away, right? So that's why they have this kind of tracing. Okay, that is RFID, as mentioned by your name, Elma. Okay, as mentioned by Elma, RFID. Okay, that one is very important. Then what else? VMI, vendor managed inventory. Anyone? You know what is vendor managed inventory? Sebastian?
Vendor management, what?
Vendor managed inventory. You know?
Yeah, the inventory is managed by one British company. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You see, vendor managed inventory is like this. You are a buyer. Okay, let's say you are producing car. Okay, I'm producing, you're buying tire from me. Okay. Vendor managed inventory is I don't ship to you when you ask for it. I will already have my inventory in your warehouse. When you take my tire, only then you pay me. But you are keeping it in your warehouse, it's not in my warehouse. Okay, it's a very good concept, right? In Malaysia, we have a company called, okay, no need to tell the name, okay? There's a tire manufacturer, okay, in a state called Kedah. Their main two customers are also in Kedah, okay? But what they do, they take the tires, they keep in Port Klang. Port Klang is like 5 hours away from that state, Kedah state, right? They put all the stuff, the tires in the truck, and then they go and put it in the warehouse in Port Klang. When the customer asks for the tire, from the Port Klang, they will come back. They will bring the tires back to Kedah, to the customer. Can you see the concept here is like, you're wasting so much of money for transportation, to and fro, right? This is when one of my students, he went there, do some consultation job, he proposed on VMI. Why not? I produce, I keep in your warehouse. Okay? Through that, you can save a lot of money. Okay? All right, anything else? What else can you do? Anyone? No? Okay. The next question. In your opinion, what do you think happened to the inventories? Now the question is, what do you think happened to the inventories? What could have happened? Huh? Misplaced can be misplaced, right? Instead of putting in this location, you're going to put in that location. Right? You manually shelve it somewhere. Okay. What else? Good. She's talking about internal theft. Right? Could be. Okay. You know, when I was working in this company, we will have gold wire. in the process, we need to use gold wire. That gold wire, we'll put it in a safe box, we will lock it, and the key will be only held by the manager. Even that gold ring, some employees, operators, they will take back home without anyone's knowledge. Here, under the tudong, and then they have ways of how to take it out. Okay, can be internal theft. What else? Yes.
There's also a possibility that the item didn't even come at all by your.
Okay, very good point. You all are smart girls, smart boys. Okay, she's telling, first of all, the raw material did not come to the warehouse, to your company. Okay, what else? Okay, let's go back to the 5 areas that I mentioned just now. What are the 5 areas in supply chain? Purchasing, planning, warehouse, logistics, information system. Right? All these 5 is under the supply chain department. So there will be a director for this, to take care of these 5 areas. Under him, there will be manager for purchasing, there will be manager for planning, there will be manager for logistics, warehouse, and so forth. All right? Yes.
There could also be a problem with the information system. So with the information system, even though you have used, let's say, 5 of an item, the information system only thought that you used 3 of them. So you think that you should have 2 more, but there aren't only 2.
Information system can be an issue, right? Okay. Internal theft can be an issue. She was telling it did not come to the warehouse at all. I've shared this scenario with many of my students in supply chain class, operations management, and so forth. And none of them talk about the material did not come into the warehouse, to the company, or internal theft. They were talking about misplaced, all kind of things, wrong label, right? But actually what happened? In this case, she was right. The material did not come to the warehouse at all. And you are right. Internal theft here is being done by the supply chain director. You know how it works? He is the one calls the vendor. I need 1,000 units of this. But you don't ship me. Give me the money. I'll pay you, give me the money. Okay? And then what he will do? Information system is also under him. Right? The supply chain department, information system is under there, right? He will manually put in the system that the shipment already come into the warehouse. That transaction should be done by the warehouse people. But he go in, he in. And then he will place it in the warehouse and he get the money. End of the day, those who are working there, they are idiots. They need to go around looking for the parts which are not in existence at all. Okay, the internal theft here is the supply chain director. So because he has access to all logistics, warehousing, purchasing, planning, information system. Okay. All right. Anything else that you can add on? What can you do to overcome this problem? We just have a few more minutes. What can we do to overcome this problem, the supply chain director's problem? Yes.
You can minimize the access the supply chain manager has. So you can say there's one guy who can access this part of the system and another guy who can access the other part of the system. And maybe also as another security that each time it's actually 2 people that should be like in the system, putting in a code or something for them to be able to get into the system. So it's not all dependent on one guy. And if that guy isn't ethical, it all crumbles.
Yes, very true. You see, in ERP system, you can give access, you can deny access, right? If certain people has that access, only these people, they have the access. You know, you can track who's doing the transaction, right? Who's allowed to do the transaction. Okay, that's what Sebastian is telling. Okay, then what else?
Just a little plus to the thing I already said. You could also, like, from the main offices of the company, have one guy looking over all the things being made in the warehouse. And as you said, he can see who's doing it. And if he sees, like, the one guy, the manager, doing a lot of weird things and things that he normally shouldn't be doing, then you can see, okay, maybe here's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, true. So this will be more on the systemic fix, right? Okay, this is one way for you to avoid the similar thing to happen. What else you can do? Yes?
So basically, other than job differentiation, right? Other than job differentiation, I think we can also use job authorization. So basically, only certain people that are allowed to get into the system. So it's pretty much the same because, first of all, different people, and second of all, only certain people know the authorization.
Yep. Because you can, in system, you can give authorization. Who should handle what, right? Okay. But there are also cases where that a pallet of microprocessor is very high value inventory, comes in millions of dollars. The whole pallet was missing, you know, and the transaction was done right under a camera. The camera was not working, and the transaction was done in the workstation, right, using some other people's password. And they took out the whole pallet, and some operators, they make millions from there. Okay, even certain system transaction, people can manipulate, right? What else? But first of all, what the supply chain director did is very, very, very unethical. Okay, because he was entrusted to handle the department, but he was actually making money for himself. Anything else? Yes.
How about the department if they not validate or physically witness the inventory? How about inventory count? Do they not involve the account department?
Yeah, it's a good question. You see, account departments, they only come for audit, right? There are two terms when it comes to inventory management. They call it as floor to book, book to floor. Floor to book is you go to the warehouse, see what's there, and then check back in the system whether it's there, match. Book to floor is you already check the system, what are the things kept in the warehouse, which location, you print out and then you go and verify, okay, got. Right? In this case, it did not happen. So they are like manipulating. But this can be done. It comes to department. Yes?
Also, we because I look at the security is not only managed by technology but also colleagues.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, in some cases, what will happen, you know, missing, right? Like this. Missing, you cannot solve the problem, right? Then suddenly, you will have some new employees coming in to work. But they are not operators, actually. They are actually investigators. No? They just come, they do the operator job, and at the same time, they watch. No? And then, end of the day, they solve the case, they will leave. No? That happened once in one of the companies where we were getting a lot of quality issue. You know, the wafer, the CD, the disk type, need to be washed, right? And customers started complaining about scratches on the thing. We call it a slider, right? For computer use as well, read and write. So complaint came, and we cannot find the root cause of the problem, right? Engineers, they cannot find the root cause. The director don't know what's happening. Everybody give up, and the issue keep on coming from the customer. This is where we put in some spy to see what's wrong going on in the production floor. Only then we realize there is one operator handling the machine. The spec is there. You can only have this much of speed to wash the disk, right? He opened up the machine, he increased the speed so that he can finish work early, go out and smoke. So he was doing that, and we found out through the spy, the operator. And then we took action. We took him to the labor court, right? We want to sack him. And you know what happened? The judge said, you go back to work. What happened? When the judge questioned the operator, why did you do that? Nobody told me I cannot increase the speed. No one told me I cannot increase the speed or reduce the speed. And then the case is thrown away. The judge said, okay, you go back to work. See, it's very unethical, right, for him to do that. For his personal, he was damaging the company's product. By the end of the day, what he did was, the answer that he gave, he won the case. No one told me not to increase the speed. Okay. All right, anything else? Anyone else? I heard someone is from Malaysia. Anyone from Malaysia? Dari mana? From where? Oh, UKM. Okay. My first degree from there, economics. Anything else? You want to top up from here? Okay.
I would like to ask how did they identify the
Come again?
I would like to ask how did they identify the real cost?
Real cost.
Yeah.
Actually, it's like this. I came up with a blueprint. Blueprint, like Sebastian was mentioning, a system where everything will be systemized and you cannot misplace any inventory. You cannot misplace. I took that blueprint. I was the senior logistics and warehouse manager. I was newly hired. That's why I put it newly hired. So I want to fix the problem. Then I went in. It's an MNC company. Went in. I came out with the blueprint. I told my boss, issue can be solved with this. Just implement this. He doesn't want to take the idea. And slowly I got to know that these fellas are playing the fool, and if I stay there longer, I might get into trouble. So I rendered my resignation and left. And then the main office, HQ, they got to know, and then they came and took action. But that fellow, he went away with that millions. Just that he was terminated. Anyone postgraduate student here? Postgraduate, MBA, masters? No? You? What are you doing? Oh, okay. You're from? Huh? INSEF. Oh, for INSEF. Okay. Masters in Islamic Business. Islamic Finance. So you are a Malaysian? Huh? Maldives. Oh, okay. Guys, anything that you want to ask me, please? Supply chain is an interesting topic for you to take up, if at all you have any electives or whatever. Okay. You can learn a lot of terms, like she was talking about VMI, RFID, so forth, right? All these some supply chain related terms. And then you will be also exposed to some tools, problem-solving tools, decision-making tools, right? I believe you have heard about SWOT analysis, that one common, right? Pest, pestle, right? And then all this Ishikawa diagram, fishbone diagram, right? A lot of things will teach you. Come on, guys. Another 5 minutes. Yes.
Is it the transparency? Is it from supplier to customer? Are they able to see the system in the floor?
Certain access will be given. Not everything will be given. Because certain things are confidential for the company. Right? So suppliers can only see whatever they should see. Maybe the raw materials. You see, you go to a mall, you're buying stuff in a supermarket. For us, we take the stuff, we put on the counter, they'll scan, they'll generate a receipt for you. Right? For us, it's just the receipt. But in actual fact, they call it as point of sale, POS. That means that each time they scan, the inventory will be taken from the system, right? So the supplier can see the system. Supplier can keep track. Okay, in this supermarket, I had 1,000 units of my product. Now left only 20. So I need to trigger the customer to buy it, or they themselves will come and send the raw material or whatever. Okay, the scanning thing is actually triggering the supplier.
How about if the customer order in advance and raw material is not in inventory? So the customer be able to tell or warn that this is the situation. They are ordering the raw material, so your order is on full. So this is the situation.
Yeah, the customer can trigger the seller, and what happens? You know the term safety stock?
Yes, very good.
Yeah, at all time they will have some safety stock in the company, the mall, right? So once the safety stock goes down, that's the trigger point to order more. Yeah. Okay, if you don't have anything, I think I can end the session for today, for now, all right? And I wish you all the best, guys. Thank you for participating.